What's new?
It's a new week. It's a new week. And I'm actually off today, meaning since it's Wednesday, I'm off today because it's another Jewish holiday and I am enjoying all of these little breaks from
Girl,
work.
you better come on here.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I'm enjoying it. Me too.
I know.
I love it. Shoot.
I'm like, I wish I was getting them days off.
I said, girl.
Honey, because these next 2 weeks I'm about to be in the fray.
Right. You are.
Well, how was last week?
Last week was really, really good. Nothing major. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Last week is when I came to you. Oh, that's... I'm high. I'm sorry. No, nothing major happened except for being reunited, and it feels so good. It was me, Karl, John, and his brother Sean.
Yes.
I seen John maybe 3 years ago. He came to visit me in Atlanta, right. And we had us a jolly good old time.
Y'all went to go see Ricky Dillard's live.
We went to see Ricky Dillard, and we was toe back. You hear me?
The funny part is because before I even knew y'all went, I watched a video of him in Atlanta, and I saw somebody with a hat on doing that little step, and I was like, that person reminds me so much of John. And then you told me you guys went, so then I wrote him and asked him, and sent the clip. He was like, oh my God, that is me.
We was in there going in. I'm telling you, we was praising.
Y'all was having a jolly good time.
Yes. So, and then of course Sean, who is John's brother, and I have not seen him in maybe 12 years.
Right.
It's been a long time, and I love me some Sean. So shout out to John and Sean. I love y'all so much. Shut up, Karl. That's so funny.
You really want me to talk about it?
No. Thought we blowing up my spot. But anyway, so yeah, that was so fun. It was so fun. We got to just reconnect, and we really just did absolutely nothing, which is always the best thing to do with friends. And we watched, and we watched a show, The Politician, and just, that's a whole nother conversation. But if you have a chance to watch it on Netflix, it's very good. You're going to have to look deeper than the surface of the show. You have to listen to what they're saying and what's actually going on. But it's a really good, it's a comedy, but it's a very dark.
Well, it's dark comedy, but it hits on some I love that show. Absolutely love it. Well, after we finished recording last week, Trina and I were talking, and I was like, I just sent her a message because I was just laying down. I was like, you know what? I want to watch something. So I sent her a message saying I was getting ready to start watching it. And then she tells me that she's already watching it. When I tell y'all, me and her binge watched the whole season in one day. Literally, that's all I did for the rest of the day. And we was texting back and forth. It's so good. Yeah, it's a really good show. And of course, everybody's not going to like it, but you're going to feel it's a goofy if you don't really pay attention to what's going on. But it's a really good show. So, but that was that. We just enjoyed each other's company, and that made my week. It really did. Because I've just had an exceedingly abundant amount of joy this past week. And I've been waking up every morning feeling good, waking up a little earlier. Okay. Each day, which is making me feel better, and naturally waking up and looking at, rolling over and okay, it's 6. All right. Right. And I feel okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm not grumpy. So, because y'all know me. Well, if you don't know me, I am not a morning person. Right. Do not. I need at least 30 minutes by myself, not moving, not talking. I agree. To be okay. So. Yeah. But yeah, how was your week? My week, I told part of it. Watching the show was really good, and you and me going back and forth for the show, that was amazing. And then, like you said, we got to spend time with John, which was really good. And then brother Sean, who I hadn't seen in 10 years. So that was really good. And then you and I got to sit and talk about some stuff. It was really, really good. My week it started off solid and it was great. Unfortunately, towards the end of the week, I found out some bad news about one of my, old students that messed me up quite a bit. Still getting through that situation because that's the first kid of mine who I dealt with for 2 years every day, and something happening to them. So that was actually pretty devastating for me. But, day by day, I'm getting better. And,
Right. And it takes time, a loss of someone, it's not an easy feat. That's why, whenever people express a loss of parents or things like that, I mean, like, I don't know what it feels like, and I can't like empathize with it really because I just don't know what that emotion feels like because I feel like it's deeper than I lost someone close to me. I think it's a deeper thing. And so when we have never really experienced those emotions, the best thing to always do is just be compassionate and just try to have a little understanding because you just never know what people are going through.
That's true.
Like it's just to touch on it a little bit. One of my friends is dating someone who, lost a lot of people in his life. And he's never dealt with it. And it's just led to a road of consistently like having an addictive personality in all different aspects.
Right.
And, but the crazy thing is he really does understand that he needs the help and he needs to work through these situations, but he just can't. So, I just kind of like take a step back and think about it. We run across so many people on a day-to-day basis who you just have no idea what they've experienced, what they're going through. And they might be just a ball of grief, literally.
That's true.
Just trying to operate in this world.
And trying to function. Yeah.
Yeah. So just something to keep in mind when dealing with folks. But I hope that you're feeling better because I know Friday was hard for you. And I'm not a good coddler or I'm not a good, like, try to make you feel better. I just try to make you laugh.
Right.
That's all I know how to do. So I tried and I was like, it's going to be better. But those are like, you don't want to say that to people because it's cliche, but I do hope that you are feeling better and, working through it.
Well, the thing that I have learned, and this is something I'm just trying to take in all aspects of my life, is just to be in the moment. And I didn't really understand that until this situation. And that's not true because when I was spending time with you and John, I have learned to just be present in the moment. And what that has done is that had just freed me to be able to deal with things in a healthy manner as opposed to unhealthy. When I say that, I mean like when I was with you and John, I was able to be present in that moment to take in all that moment had to offer. In this unfortunate situation, it has presented me the opportunity to be able to experience grief in a way that I haven't before, instead of feeling like I had to be the strong one all the time. And so trying to bottle it in and then being alone and being vulnerable and then sinking into a depression. This time, because I was just open and honest with everyone that I spoke to, everyone understood how bad it really was for me. And so because of that, I just allowed myself to be in the grief. So every time tears came, I just let them come. I didn't care where I was.
Absolutely.
I just let it be.
That's the best, and that's the best way to deal with it. It's just going to make it worse
later on. And I get that now. And so for me, and even in talking to some of the kids who were reaching out to me, they were asking me stuff and I just had to be honest in the moment. I told them, right now I'm hurting and I honestly don't know what to say in this moment. I was like, I don't, other than to tell you I love you and I'm here. Just text me, even if it's just to say, you know what, I'm still hurting. And at least you're not alone because I can tell you I'm hurting with you. And that's all I know how to say.
And I think that's the best thing too, like having the comfort of knowing that you're not going through something alone. Because, there are some people who are. Yeah,
that's true. And they feel that they are, even though they may not be. Because that's true. If we think about it, we're never always really alone.
Yeah.
So,
okay. But well, again, hopefully that, that you're able to work through these feelings and these emotions and get them out properly. Same for all of your students. I just pray that they all, don't go into a depression.
Yeah.
And just figure out the best way to cope. And, we're sending lots of love, light, and positivity to that family of that young man. So we are going to move on to our next segment.
What we going to do first today, girl?
I think we're going to help me fix my life. I'm excited because it's my turn. What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing. It's just when you started.
You laughing at?
I just started laughing because I knew there was going to be no song coming, but still,
absolutely not.
That's what I meant. I was still hopeful and holding on to it, but as soon as you open your mouth, I knew it wasn't, and so I just started laughing.
I straight up quit, didn't I? I just quit. Like,
you packed it up, put it away.
Y'all not about to run this well dry.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so this week, let's see what's going on because I have not read it yet.
Okay.
So here we go. Hey guys, first I want to say that I love the energy lately. You guys seem on a mission. Now let's get
this week yet.
What? What? What did you just say?
Oh,
that's all I heard.
No, I know because he was reading. My bad. No, I was saying they haven't heard this week yet because they're saying they love the energy and the mission. Well, I mean, we're still on a mission. We are a bit more focused.
They're just saying these past 2 episodes, Karl, dang. Picking these folks thing apart.
Not really. I'm just saying, you ain't heard this episode yet.
Uh-oh.
Why you say uh-oh?
Because you scared me. It's something about to happen I don't know about.
No.
Oh, you said you ain't heard this, like you about to go off on somebody, so.
Oh, no. Nuh-uh.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. Well, at least I don't think.
Let me start over since I was interrupted. Hey guys, first I want to say that I love the energy lately. You guys seem on a mission. Now, let's get down to the meat on the bone. Okay. I have been eyeing this guy at my job for a long time now. He's smart and funny and always can make me smile. We work at a call center in collections. I know you hate your job. So everyone hates us, which can make for a long, hard day. However, it's always good with him. On days when he's off, I notice myself wishing he was there. The bigger issue is that I'm gay and I haven't told anyone at my job. The other issue is that I'm not sure if he's gay or not. He hasn't mentioned a relationship at all. I also haven't seen any pictures. What should I do? I want to make a move. I just don't know what move or how. Can you help me, please? I want my man, the eyeing breaker.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
I got a chance to. I can't remember the channel. Jesus Christ. I've been racking my brain trying to remember what they're called, but they do these random things. Like the newest one I've seen is Who's the Secret Trump Hater? And what they do is they get a group of people together and they don't tell you anything about them. And they give them all this task where they have to figure out who's the one person who's the outsider. And if they can all figure out who's the outsider, then they all win a cash prize. If they can't find out who the mole is, then the mole wins the entire cash prize. And one of them that I watched was about all these guys trying to figure out who was the gay guy. So they were trying to use gaydar to see if it was real, if it was scientific in some way.
Oh, wow.
And so they were doing it and they're all asking each other these questions. And obviously
like
they
what?
have to lie because they all want to win the money. But the mole is trying to lie so that he can actually win the money himself. In the end, they had no idea that the gay guy was the one guy that they never would have thought. And so it opened up this whole dialogue of like, no, you can't go off of stereotypes and this, that, and the other.
Right.
This is interesting to me in that same way because, it is a gay man who hasn't told anybody. So they probably have no idea. And
Maybe
he's not sure if the person he likes, is gay. So it's interesting because that is a fine line, especially at work.
Well,
because
no,
you don't
it is a
want
fine line because even like with you, anybody who knew me, they didn't know that you were gay until I told them you were gay.
Really?
Nobody, yes, Karl, you know, back in the day, you weren't really like, I mean, you still aren't, but like you don't have any of the quote unquote.
Well, I hear it now, but I'm saying back then, I thought I was extremely flamboyant and that everybody knew.
No.
So that's why I'm shocked to hear that.
Not at all.
Now people say it and I'm like, okay, well, I see that because, you know, they assume because I like to wear things that are kind of trendy. Well, I don't know, because my style isn't really hip hop and it isn't really like gay boy and it isn't really anything. It's just a mixture of different things I like.
Back then you have to remember back then you were white boy chic. So,
right.
Yeah. So people just thought you could dress like, you know, and I'm like, no, Karl likes men. What are you talking about? And they'd be like, what? Oh my God. Now I see it because I think it's probably because I've known you for so long, but I didn't, you know, I was like, I don't understand how y'all don't know. But a lot of people did not know.
But
Mom didn't even know for a long time. She was just like, really?
Well, you know what? We talked about this. Remember when we was hanging out with John and everybody? We had that conversation where we said sometimes it's hard. And I said, for me, I would say about 90% of the time I'm correct. And some people who think they're hiding it don't do a good job.
Right.
And some people who think that they are being out and open about it, people have no idea, which I find ironic about it. Because people who are like, hey, this is me, I don't care, I'm just going to be me. Those people are the ones that people never have an idea about. But the ones who think that they're able to hide it and nobody knows, those are the ones that everybody actually knows about.
Everybody knows.
It's
everybody knows, y'all. we all been new. I didn't mean it to come out like that, but it did. Let's get back to this question. Look.
Yeah. Because you being messy, and I'm just trying not to. I'm trying to keep it together. Okay.
Like, nigga, we all have known for years.
But that's why I get so shocked, is because I am just like, I just assumed everybody knew because I was not trying to be secretive.
Yeah.
So for me, when people would be like,
yep, when people would be like, this nigga done had his gummy bear and is on 15.
No, today I have it.
You had a chocolate.
Let me tell you actually what's going on with me today, because honestly, the past 2 days have been super rough, like emotionally, that this morning, and I haven't meditated in over probably about a week and a half.
Oh.
Or listened to my affirmations or anything. And this morning, when I woke up really peaceful. So I just sat in that moment and just allowed myself to feel the peace. So even in going through those 2 days of really hard grief, today I do feel at peace and I do feel some joy.
That's
so
good.
I'm just kind of running with it. Do you know what I mean?
I know that's right.
Every moment, just trying to be in it. So forgive me, y'all, if I'm laughing a whole lot.
Don't ask for no forgiveness for being happy. Get out of here.
You know what?
Exactly.
Yes.
I ain't asking y'all for no forgiveness because I feel good. I'm sorry if you don't, but I do. God damn it.
And I'm taking joy every moment I get. Come on here.
Okay, anyway, back to you. I because we just ignored
Sometimes
you
it gotta be
completely.
like that, though.
I'm sorry. Here's what I think about it, and this is short, simple, and sweet, and right to the point. I think I am a very upfront type of person. Like sometimes I'll be shy and like not want to approach anybody, but for the most part, I'm pretty upfront and I kind of like drop hints. So I feel like maybe that might be a good idea for you to fish a little bit, to try to figure it out. You can either like, hey, want to go hang out and kind of see the vibe, or you could just straight up and ask, hey, do you have a partner? Because everybody refers to their significant other as partner these days. So you don't know if that means gay necessarily.
That's not necessarily true. We, as progressive people, and both of us have lived in Europe, understands that everybody there uses partner, because I didn't understand it.
Yeah, that's true.
So that is your way of understanding. Everybody here, they will say, are you married? Do you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend? They're very specific here in the U.S.
Yeah, that's true. But, I'm just saying from the people that I have talked to lately, they use the term partner and they're straight. And I'm like, okay, well, everybody wants to use it, then use it. I mean, because that's what it is, a life partner.
Right.
So, but anyway, I would just ask the question partner, and then I feel like the answer would be, no, I do not have a boyfriend, or no, I do not have a girlfriend, or no, I'm not with someone. And then if you get the no, I'm not with someone, say, are you looking for something? You know, like just whatever. But it doesn't, to me, you like this guy. So it doesn't matter if he knows you're gay. I know you don't have the whole office knowing, but I feel like you like him. So what does it matter if he knows you're gay?
And why not try opening up to him and see where it goes from there? Why don't you just start talking about how you feel and what your life experience is? So yeah, see, well, this is why I said it's kind of shaky, because it's at work. And nowadays, anything can be considered sexual harassment, and you just don't want to put yourself.
Yeah, but y'all are cool. But they're cool. It's different.
Yeah, but there are people out there that have been cool and then for one reason or another end up going sideways. So I would say maybe try hanging out with the person first, being like, hey, would you like to go out, hang out, grab a beer, get coffee, whatever you like to do that you guys find similar, and then have the conversation there, maybe, instead of not at work on work time. What'd you say?
We always want coffee. I said coffee. We always want coffee.
Right. That is true. I'm sipping on mine now.
I am sipping on a San Pellegrino.
Well, at least it's not a work setting is what I'm trying to say. Don't do it within the confines of work that it can never be said that you were doing something at work that could jeopardize your job.
Yeah, of course. I wasn't thinking that at all, but I mean, I was, in my mind, I was just thinking
I know what you meant. Right.
We're hanging out, let's have this conversation.
Yeah, then bring it up there.
But so that's what I think. First of all, though, don't be claiming nobody who ain't yours. That's not your man. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying.
Let's be clear, because
the book say, speak those things that are not as though they were.
No, but if
that's
he
what the
ain't
good book
with
say.
it,
That's what he said in his word.
If he ain't with it, what they said in what is that damn movie called?
Who's the characters?
If this is what I was trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, you said speak it into existence, and I'm saying if that's not who I am, just like the good movie of Talladega Nights, don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that. No, because he always got something to say. That's all I'm saying.
No, I hear you on that. I get it, because you can't make somebody be something that they're not. I completely get it.
Exactly.
Right.
But good luck.
So start claiming him after you find out you have the opportunity.
Let's find out if he is even willing to entertain the idea. So, but good luck with that. And you guys remember, if you have any help me fix my life situations, questions, concerns, or you just want to say hey to a nigga, write us at askbreakinghollywood@gmail.com, or you can write us in our DMs on Breaking Hollywood on Instagram. We are on Twitter as well. We don't use it, and I'm not going to sit here and act like we're going to respond. If you write me something on Twitter, like I used to use Twitter back in like 2008, 2009, So like now I wouldn't even know what to do. Like I used Twitter. I used Twitter when I didn't have an iPhone. And then as soon as I got an iPhone, I was one of the first people to have Instagram.
See, yeah.
Because remember, it was an iPhone only app. So
it was. That's right.
I was one of those. Okay?
And I liked that app when it was configured into it like that.
Yeah. So I was one of the, it was kind of cool, because it's like you're a selective group, and you like only people who have blue text messages can contact you through this app. And I thought that was dope. I thought it was dope, because I'm tired of them I'm seriously tired of these Android videos, even though they have gotten a lot better. They've advanced in technology, but them things used to look like a.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, let's move on to
and you know what?
Next.
On the Twitter part, though, that's funny because. no, I was just going to say, even if they were sending tweets, before you even could check them, I've already deleted the message because, we share that mailbox and I hate seeing them in there. Like as soon as I see it, I automatically just delete them. I clear them.
Yeah. The point is we do not use Twitter at all.
No, I associate Twitter with Trump. And so for that reason, he has tainted Twitter for me. It's sad, but it's true. One, I didn't use it before he was big on
before that. Exactly. I was going to say, let's be real. Don't try to turn this around and blame it on Trump.
M.T.G.A. Make Twitter great again. How about that? I still won't use it, but still.
I've never used Twitter. You gonna try to blame it on Trump for why you don't?
I never have and I never will. I never cared about it.
Oh man, just say that he added even more of a disdain for it.
The only social media I really use now is Instagram.
I don't use Twitter because of Trump. That was legit the funniest thing this morning. Oh man. Well, anyway, yeah, I hate social media. I even hate Instagram. Now I just use it just to troll. Like I'd be mad about my fingernail breaking. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna tell y'all because I'm pissed.
You know what, Trina?
But y'all can look at it now.
We need to make a pact. We're gonna start using our individual social media pages to post random stuff.
That's what I do already.
Because sometimes you post like enlightening things as well.
And I will.
Let's just commit to a month.
But I will do that. Oh, you mean? Yeah. Okay, October, a month of debauchery.
Yeah, and we just post random, silly, wacky stuff just to bring some laughs.
But can I still post like my cool stuff?
Well, I'm never going to stop you from doing inspirational stuff because, of course.
I'm talking about like my nail.
That was funny. To me, it was funny because I knew you was pissed and it was hilarious to me.
Yeah, I got you. I'm down.
So you want to do that? Oh, no, let's do it for November for Thanksgiving.
Did you see what I posted this morning?
I didn't. I don't think I did.
Yes, you did. Yeah, you did. I think you did. The fight between my the new me and the old me. That's what I'm saying. You mean stuff like that?
Here. Yes. Because now that is true, though.
I got those things for days. For days. I be seeing people's stuff and screenshot. You just be like scrolling. When you get in that moment, you just start scrolling. You get in the deep, dark cycle of Instagram and you go down this black hole of quotes. And I just have like a whole album in my photo of screenshots of quotes that I'd be like, man, I can't post this. My mom will follow me, but I want to.
Then send it over to me. I'll post it.
I'd be like, I want to. But anyway, okay, now let's move on to tea time.
Okay.
What? It's tea time. It's tea time.
It's tea time.
It's tea time. And we got a little bit of tea for you. What you got, Carl? What you gonna do? I know you got something to say, so it's on you.
Okay. That was cute.
I've been watching 85 South Show, and if y'all don't know who that is, there's 3 comedians from Wildin' Out. It's DC Young Fly, Carlos Miller, and Chico Bean. And they're kind of nasty. They're really nasty, but they're hilarious, and they incorporate that kind of same like rapping and comedy into their performance. I'm going to see them this month.
That wasn't the 2 guys you sent to me, was it? About the Lion King thing?
Yeah, but that's 3. Okay. But yes, that was them, the Lion King thing.
They are funny because that was hilarious.
No, they're really funny, and they talk about some crazy stuff. But they do stuff like that. Like they'll just start like they always crack on the audience. So they'll like be roasting somebody in the audience. They're like, look at you looking stupid. Your braids look like 1995 and stuff like that. And then but that's what the audience goes there for. They go to get like roasted. They love it. And so they'll say stuff to people, and then all of a sudden, if it sticks with them, they'll like make a song out of it. So I'm just going to give y'all one example. He was talking about, being in the hood and growing up with a single parent and how his mom would be dating a guy. And he was mad because he was like, yeah, because every time I go in the kitchen, he done eat up all my snacks and drank all my Capri Suns. And then they started making a song and he grabs the microphone that has auto-tune on it and he goes, eating all your snacks and drinking all your Capri Suns. It is hilarious. Oh. They are funny. So anyway, that's this. If you're into ghetto comedy, you'll like them a lot. They're called the 85 South Show again. So anyway.
Well, it wasn't all ghetto stuff. I mean, because the Lion King thing was brilliant.
Nah,
that
but
whole Disney thing was funny.
Yeah, but that was just it's really nasty. They talk about a lot of sex and... Oh,
okay. So it's more adult humor.
It's adult humor. It's for sure adult humor.
Well, so Wildin' Out is adult humor, but I mean, teens still watch it. But I get you.
They're a little bit more graphic than on Wildin' Out. It's basically Wilding Out if they could really wild out.
With no
That's
limits,
what it is.
right?
Mm-hmm. That's what it is. So anyway, okay. Go ahead. You start.
You want me to start off?
Your tea.
Because I just have one. It's just about Tyler Perry. He got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in the same weekend in which he had the grand opening for Tyler Perry Studios. And it was a huge event. Beyonce even showed up.
Yes. So, she was hanging out with TT.
Yeah.
Blame it on Quay. He posted how she was like, he's one of her favorites. And I thought that's dope that she can have moments like that with people who aren't as big as her.
Exactly. I love the fact that this was an actual big event. I don't know why, but for some time now, I've already thought his studio was open. I guess the whole grand opening is finally like, okay.
Well, was it in Atlanta?
Operating on our own. Yeah, it's in Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe he just finished everything. Maybe he had been doing construction and stuff for a while. Well,
he has been because he bought the Air Force Base and had to turn all of that into an actual studio and sound stages and stuff. But they've been filming there for a while. I mean, Marvel has used it. So many big productions have used it. So I'm thinking it was up and operational.
Yeah, it probably is on one side and it wasn't totally, how they'll, even on a college campus, they'll have buildings open. They're like, okay, this is enough to have classes until we finish this and this. And so maybe it's something like that. Most of it was finished, but they didn't have the, all the way completion, but everybody looked beautiful. Everybody that I saw, even Oprah looked good, honey. I was like, okay,
yeah, she
Oprah.
Did. Cicely Tyson, though, with that cape was killing me.
I
said, you better come on here, Mama Tyson.
I just love her.
I love her too. She's just so graceful and beautiful and inspiring.
It was also the BET Awards this weekend in Atlanta too. So I know the city was popping.
Oh my goodness. See? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really, I don't really watch the BET Awards.
Which BET Awards? Because it seemed like they just had one.
BET Hip Hop Awards.
Oh, okay. Got you.
I don't really watch. And I need to get better at that. Even though some of the stuff I don't enjoy, I need to get better at supporting our only channel.
Yeah. Well, my thing is this. I like to support our culture. Absolutely. But if it doesn't resonate with me, then I just can't support it because then it's just doing it for some. Do you know what I mean? To me, it just seems disingenuous.
But for me, it's it's doing it for my people anyway, because there's a lot of people who enjoy it. So if I can be the one person to log on so that they get another number, I'm going to do that. Just to support. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Absolutely.
Speaking of black folks, let's move on to the next topic in tea time.
Okay, go for it, girl.
So this 21-year-old man from Florida, young black man, was sentenced to 10 days in jail and a year of probation. Do you know why, Carl? Have you heard about this?
I have heard about it, but I'm going to let you finish for those who have not.
Well, for those of you who have not heard about it, he was sentenced to, let me give you the exact sentence. 10 days in jail, 150 hours of community service, a written apology of at least 100 words, a year of probation, and a $233 fine and fees. And this was all due to him oversleeping for jury duty.
Right.
Well, he basically caused the trial to be 45 minutes, start 45 minutes late. And so this young man has never had any criminal background, nothing on his record at all. He walked into the court to serve on a jury duty with no criminal record and left handcuffed, going into jail cell for 10 days with a criminal record.
And the sad part is because he told the truth. He told the truth.
He did tell the truth. However, the judge said that he feels like the sentence was, he deserved it. He said because he did not let them know he was running late. He just showed up 45 minutes late instead of calling someone and letting them know. So he said it was worth it. And then since there was such a big uproar in social media, his sentence did get lowered a little bit. Instead of the year of probation, he will serve just 3 months. And according to court records, his 150 hours of community service was reduced to 30 hours, and he's already served his 10 days.
Exactly, but he still has a criminal record because now this boy...
he now has a criminal record.
Exactly. So now when he goes and applies for a job, not to mention the job he might already have.
I'm sure it's a misdemeanor. Yeah, I'm sure it's a misdemeanor. Doubt that's it could be a felony. I don't know, but I hope it's not.
I hope it's not either.
When it has to do with court stuff, they be trying to...
Exactly. But the thing is the question on your application says, have you ever been arrested for a crime? It does not say felony or misdemeanor. It says, have you ever been arrested?
That is true.
So now he has to say yes. He also served time. So now he also has to say, yes, I had to serve jail time for being late to jury duty.
Exactly.
For the rest of his life.
Which is crazy. But just to keep into, this same energy as far as the court system goes, if you guys did not know, our good girl, Amber Guyger, was only sentenced to 10 years after murdering a young black man in his own apartment. Black Twitter and black social media is outraged, of course, at this sentence because they don't think it's fair. There's a viral video. Well, it's not a video, but it's a meme going around of showing her and saying she was sentenced 10 years for murdering a man. And then on the other side, it shows a young black man who was sentenced to 100 years in prison for murdering a cop's dog.
Wow. And is that true?
Yes.
Oh, whoa. He was sentenced 100 years
well, I guess
for killing a dog.
Because I guess because he's a police dog, so he's considered a police.
I'm just a bit confused by that because even still, murdering an animal is wrong. I get that. But 100 years when it wasn't a person? Yep. I'm really confused on how that even went down in court. I didn't even know that was something that was considered.
Maybe it was 40.
I don't know.
Maybe it was 45 years, not 100. But still.
But no, still. I'm like jail time, period. I'm confused by that.
Yeah, he got, and he ain't, so he's there.
No, I'm really confused because so does that mean that anyone who kills an animal can go to jail?
A police dog.
Okay, I still don't get it.
I don't know. Here in San Diego, we got so many daggone animal activists. They was out there this week at City Hall, okay, protesting. You know how people, and nope, I'm going to save it. You know how some people are when it comes to animals in comparison to other people. I'm just saying.
Right.
So, yeah. But anyway,
okay.
So just to keep going on this, I want to bring light to a situation that happened. So during the trial, there was a young man named Joshua Brown who lived across the hall and who witnessed, who was a witness to the murder. He heard the gunshots and everything like that. And so he testified in the trial against Amber Guyger. Well, 2 days after her sentencing, this young man was found gunned down in his apartment complex outside in the parking lot.
The same apartment complex that she killed the other man in.
Right. Well, he lives there.
Right.
So, but yeah. And so one of the things that one of his family members said is that he was always kind of like paranoid and nervous about dying that way after that, being shot. And it's just, But it's just coincidence, isn't it? Like,
no, it's not a coincidence. You know, when you have people who are saying things like it's going to be a civil war if I'm removed as the president, he's making it very clear what state he's trying to bring this country to.
Yeah.
And honestly, it makes me a little concerned because there are people out there who are going to try. But let me make this very clear for anybody who might be listening who think this is about to be a civil war. You saw what happened the last civil war. You didn't win. So we can repeat that history because I'll make it very clear. This is not a civil war. This is very, very simple. Somebody broke the law. They need to be held accountable for breaking the law. If you think that is all right.
Regardless of their stature.
Period. If you think that is okay and you're ready to have a civil war over that, okay, well then we might as well just go ahead and take all of your guns because you're saying under the Constitution, you get to have your firearms. We're telling you that under the Constitution, he cannot act in that way and ask a foreign government for help in our elections. So if you want your constitutional rights protected, then you need to follow the law. Exactly. You can't claim the Constitution when it's convenient for you, when it fits your need, because now you're talking about civil war. Let's go. Because we outnumber y'all. You literally are 5% of the country. 5. Let's go.
It's just crazy to me, though, just the way that it played out. I mean, like...
I'm sad for that young man and his family.
I'm very, sad. Like, it just, it's just sad. Like, the one way he didn't want to die and he was paranoid about it happening, it happened. Right. But the other thing is that you were just doing what was right. Like, it's not, I feel like in this...
The cops asked you to testify. So it wasn't like he volunteered.
Yeah, and it just seems, and I'm not a big conspiracy theorist person. I feel like it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. But I do feel like it's just very suspect that after you've done your due diligence and then we as Black people are outraged because of her sentencing, but we not gonna hurt you because we glad you stood up. You know what I mean? And then when I say her supporters, because I know not all Caucasians supported what she did. A lot of people believe you murdered somebody, you need to go to jail. But
she even believed that, so let's not down her. She understood that what she did was wrong.
Yeah. So she said. And so
we can only go off of what she said.
Exactly.
So
exactly. So
we have to be fair. Because she never once said she felt like she didn't deserve what she got. She never once said that. She did not. She did not.
And she didn't even sentence herself. She had no pull in the sentencing that she got. However, I feel like whoever was upset about this, about her getting this time, obviously they knew, okay, he lived across. You know what I'm saying? Like they knew.
And I agree that that's the point that I'm making is that these crazies think that this stuff is okay.
Yeah. And it's sad.
They think it's completely fine and acceptable, and it's not. So I feel you on that. And the other thing that I want to talk about in regards to this case, because I've seen a lot of people say this, Whoopi Goldberg said it on The View. I can't remember the other person, but I've heard someone else mention it as well who was not African American. Actually, it was TYT, the Young Turks. They mentioned it where they go, the young man's brother, his statement that he made towards her, saying that he forgave her. That moved me. I really appreciated it. And then he got up and gave her a hug, and that's what I'm talking about. We heal by those acts. But they mentioned something. They said, how many times have you seen that same behavior shown towards African Americans if the roles were reversed?
Absolutely
and
none.
A lot of them, and that's the thing, is because we don't see it. And it's not to say that it does not happen, but you don't see it much. And the TYT, they said something that really made me think about it, and I had not thought about it in this way. He goes, a lot of people are Christian in the African American community. And he goes, and in Christianity, you were taught to forgive. But he goes, I wonder if that was indeed a ploy for slavery, to be like, no matter what massa does to you, you still forgive them. However, on the flip side of that, you don't see the Republicans who claim to be Christians and claim to be about the Bible showing that same compassion and forgiveness that they claim their savior, Jesus, was shown to people. And when he worded it like that, I was like, wow.
No, and I saw that too on one of the social media platforms, but I did see that too. People were, of course, questioning, like, you know, that basically this is what we were taught to do. We've been conditioned to forgive our oppressors since back then. And so he said, you know, they were basically like, it's so common for you to see African American culture forgiving and doing all of that because we have been taught that since we can remember. And right. But it's, you know, in the same sense, they were saying the same exact thing. But my only thing with that is that's where we go again with this whole religion versus spirituality thing, because I feel like as a spiritual person, I know that me not forgiving and going through a healing process within myself, I am not, and not forgiving you, I am not going to be able to be authentically and truly at peace.
Right.
So I want that for myself. But then, you know, but then when we go onto the religious side of it, it's because the Bible said so. Okay. So that's where I'm saying we don't know this man's character.
Right.
Although he might have expressed, yes, and the Christianity taught me this, the spiritual aspect of it is he forgiving this girl for himself? And I feel like that's where that genuinely came from. I don't feel like it was from a place of, since I'm a Christian, I have to forgive you. Because a lot of people are Christians and they know they have to forgive and they don't. Mm-hmm. So I feel like for anybody to actually do that, there is a spiritual thing within them where they're wanting to let go.
Right.
And not have to deal with the grief of all of that. Well, they deal with the grief of all of it.
Holding on to the anger. Right.
That they're, yes. And knowing that she made her mistake. And guess what, y'all? She got 10 years in prison. Okay, great. She's going to have to live with this for the rest of her life. And y'all might think a lot of these folks who have these, and let me just go on and do it like this. Y'all think that a lot of these white people who commit these crimes, who do these racist acts in front of people, do not have to deal with that on the sideline just because they don't show it outwardly or they benefit from it. They still have to go to sleep at night knowing what they've done. And you know, those same things that haunt you at night when you feel guilty about things, they feel it too, unless they're sociopaths.
Right.
But I just want to point that out because it is a black and white thing, but this is also a human thing. And it's also, so I just don't think we should be so quick to think that everything is based in a oppressive system. Like, I really feel like this man genuinely needed to release all of that energy, and you release transfer a lot of things by hugging people.
That's correct.
He needed a release because he was probably toe up and he needed to release that. And what better person to give it to?
That's right.
So I just, that's my viewpoint on that, but that's, I'll shut up.
No, yeah. Hey, I didn't say anything because I completely agree with you. I do believe that for him, it was a release of all the anger and the hurt. And hey, I'm all about it. I was all about it. And I saw the judge even gave her a hug. And I know a lot of people were upset with the judge for that. They're like, I've never seen a judge hug. But again,
she's a black woman.
Right. And I understand what she was doing. She felt moved by what the young man had done.
Exactly.
And she was listening to what the young man had said about, I hope you find peace in this, that, and the other. So the judge went down and gave the woman a Bible because the woman said she didn't have one. And so the judge gave her one and pointed her to a specific scripture and then gave her a hug as well.
Exactly.
And again, I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with showing someone compassion. She still has her sentence. Them hugging her doesn't change that. And it doesn't change what she did.
And it didn't. And all of that happened after she was sentenced. So it didn't affect anything.
That's right.
This was what it was going to be regardless. So what are y'all mad about? Y'all think the judge went light on her because she gave her a hug? No, she was already sentenced. It wasn't even in the judge's decision.
That wasn't the judge's decision.
She was already sentenced.
Right. My thing is but this goes to the culture of what I was saying. we can have our opinions on she probably should have gotten more years or not. Again, I am not an attorney. I'm not a judge. I didn't hear all the facts of the case. I don't know. So with that, I'm going to leave it there. But the other thing I don't want to ignore is the fact of that she did something wrong. And these people were able to forgive her and still show compassion and kindness to somebody that is broken. Yes, she is going to have to live with her choices for the rest of her life. But that little small moment of showing compassion and kindness to another human being, we don't know what effect that had on her and what it will have on her moving forward. We have no idea because it's those little acts of kindness that can change somebody's life.
Exactly, because y'all don't even know this girl, like her mom had already said on the stand that she suffered from depression for a long time. You don't know, this could have just took this girl over the edge and she was probably like, I'm about to go in this jail cell and end it all. And that one little act of kindness could have changed her whole mental state.
That's right.
Like, so we just like, and again, this is the cancel culture. I'm so sick of y'all and y'all shit. Like,
come on now.
Allow people to live their lives. You got an opinion on everything. So what? We all got an opinion just like we all got an ass. So leave it be. Leave it be.
What you say? Mind the business that pays you?
Mind the business that pays you. Because this ain't going to make or break you financially. So why are you worried about it?
And again, when it's time to speak up, like it was for that young man who was sent to jail for showing up late to jury duty, I'm all about that because that is wrong. I agree.
And he said that. And the thing about the young man is he said, I deserved that punishment because I was wrong. I don't think it should have been as severe personally, but I don't know what kind of trial it was. I don't know if it was, something that needed to be expedited and didn't need to be over. I don't know the details of that. I just don't think that it should be on his record. I feel like, because there are a lot of judges who can teach you a lesson
without it being a permanent stain.
And it not being on you. I don't have nothing on my record.
I don't either.
And I done did some stuff and been some places.
Come on now.
But, so.
And I done slept in many a times and been late. I don't now, but I have.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was needed to be that harsh of a punishment, but I do understand that, he needed to be reprimanded for not doing the right thing. The right thing would have been, oh my gosh, I'm late. Let me call somebody.
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, I woke up late. But, that's what we're taught, like if something emergency happens, you're supposed to let somebody know, hey, I'm not going to be in on time. This just
It is
happened.
Common courtesy. I agree with you on that.
It's just, well, and that's a part of a job, and jury duty is a job because most likely he was off of his job and getting paid to be there.
That's true.
So I'm just saying, but that's neither here nor there. But we're going to just go on and segue on to self-care because we're kind of already there.
Mm-hmm.
There was a common theme throughout the day. And that is dealing with grief and releasing and letting things go in order for you to have your peace.
That's right. I am going to speak up in regards to dealing with grief. The only way to deal with it is to deal with it. And we've said this before, but it's the truth.
You should say it.
He did say. Well, he didn't say that about grief, but that's the only way to deal with anything.
Mm-hmm.
Stuffing it down really does not solve the problem. It doesn't. And so, honestly, I didn't care how it made me look. And I honestly didn't care what other people thought because I had to go to the grocery store and I had to do some other things the day in which I found out I was actually at work. And they could see that I was not okay. And I had to call some people and tell them, I was leaving. And even when I was actually at the office, they could just tell that I was not okay. And they were just like, you got to go and just have your moment. Like, you just got to deal with what you got to deal with. And I get it.
Yeah.
And so you just have to get to a place in yourself where you understand the best thing to do is just stand there and be in the moment. And that's what I did. And honestly, for me, I'm glad I did that because it allowed me to feel the hurt. So that later on down the line, I am not carrying this grudge or this feeling because I didn't deal with it in the moment.
Exactly, because numbing things and just compressing things and pushing it down, you are going to explode eventually. And you're going to explode probably in a setting where
it's not warranted.
It's not appropriate at all. Or you're going to go off on somebody who you really care about, and that anger was not meant for them.
At all.
And then, you just don't know what's going to happen from there. So the best thing, and we talk about this in many situations, is releasing that energy. And the best way I feel like to release grief is like Karl said, when you feel like you got to cry, just cry. You're not weak because you're crying. Okay, you are suffering through a loss. And so, and I the crazy thing is, when I was talking to my best friend this week, I'm like, people don't even realize, like, breakups and like letting people go out of your life, that is a loss as well. You have to remember that these people were a part of your life, and now there's a void and they're no longer there, especially if it was somebody that you were constantly with or shared a very deep emotional connection with. Right. So it's very hard to, let somebody go like that, and you're going to feel pain. You're going to feel hurt. You're going to feel anger. You're going to go through all those emotions.
And that's normal and okay.
And it's normal. It's normal. It's okay. And you just have to release it. Cry when you're sad. If you're mad, punch a pillow or go for a run. Whatever makes you feel better when you're dealing with anger. Go boxing. Anything. Right. Let it out. Because if you don't let it out, you're going to implode and then explode. Period. And that's all I got on that. That's just that on that, y'all.
Is that on that?
So I really hope you enjoyed today's show. I feel like it was a nice little pace, and everything just flowed together this week.
It really did.
Just, click, 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 click.
You better be on it. You better be on it.
But yeah, it's when you're all in one accord. Because the Bible said when you're all in one accord, things come out the way that they supposed to.
Yes.
So that's that on that, you guys. But we love you, and we mean it.
And love, light, and positivity always, breakers.
Always. High five, Karl.
High five, Trina.
Bye. I wasn't trying to be shady, I promise. I just, when you said that.
Yes, you were. All I could do is just laugh.
It just clicked. I had to get it out of my system. Get it out.
Let it loose.